What do you mean, what am I waiting for? What are you waiting for? Like, comment, share, subscribe, hit the little hype button if it's available. Tell your mamas and your papas. We are on the way to 100,000 subscribers, family. So if you have not subscribed to the channel as of yet, you could do your boy a big favor and just scroll right to the bottom left of the video and hit the subscribe button one time. In the words of Wyclef Jean. Family, we're going back into Sleep Token. Is the journey ever over with Sleep Token? Listen, I feel like I could go back to the first Sleep Token song I've ever done and hear it in an entirely different way, because it is so deeply layered. I mean, the poetry is deep. You know what I'm saying? They could release like a book of poetry and you could just, you know what I'm saying? Like the words, they just hang on you. Salute, family. We're going into Infinite Baths by Sleep Token. Without any further ado, we're going to let him cook. Please cook, sir. This track is called Infinite Baths.
When you plucked me from the grotto, sounding like a supermodel, when I would wake in staccato, no lightning in a bottle.
Guys, we're starting with the very typical poetry. And the thing is, you know, when I say typical, I don't mean that I've gotten used to it by any means. I mean, this is genius level lyricism when it comes from Vessel, right? When you plucked me from the grotto, it almost sounds like, listen, I was doing my own thing, right? I was just a fruit ripe for the harvesting. And you took me from my place. He's silent like a supermodel, which was the most brutal part of that. Because, I mean, when you think about it, as you're forced to because of the lyric, it's like, you know, we don't go to supermodels because of what they have to say. They're kind of used as a means to some other end, like selling a product, you know, selling clothes or whatever, you know, they're on display, you know. Yeah, I want to hear that transition just once more.
When you plucked me from the grotto, sounding like a supermodel, when I would wake in staccato, no lightning in a bottle.
Right.
Just one eye on the target and 2 bricks on the throttle. I know now.
He said, I know now. That boy can sing. Please talk to me about it. But he says, look, we've all been there, right? That's the only reason I wanted to pause on. I'm going to go ahead and let him cook. I just wanted to say we've all been there. Those of us who have been in love, right? 1 eye on the target, 2 bricks on the throttle, meaning you're going twice as fast as you should be because you're only half aware of where you're going. You know what I mean? You're in it, you know? There's no turning back. And maybe the 1 eye on the target means, you know, it's like you're kind of like, you're a little bit hesitant to go in, you know? It's like there's a little bit of fear associated with that maybe. Talk to me in the comments, please.
Bricks on the throttle, I know now that even if I am frozen, timeless as a ghost in my nightmares of the ocean, the precipice I'm approaching, well, you will empty the darkness, you will keep me in motion, I know now.
Guys, that sounds a little dark to me. He says, even if I'm frozen, timeless as a ghost in my nightmares of the ocean. Is he saying that even if the ocean that is sleep envelops me and reduces me to, you know, just this, my fate, that, you know, at least I'll be upheld by the kind of the momentum of the waves or whatever? You know, Vessel's always talking about being lost, like losing himself in it, right? He wants a situation or a relationship that is all encompassing and like deadly honest and willing to forsake far more than maybe he should in order to achieve that.
You will empty the darkness. You will keep me in motion. I know now. Infinite buzz washing over me at last. Feel the method in my madness. Feel the glory in my wrath.
Oh.
Infinite buzz bursting colors when you love. I have fought so long to be here. I am never going back.
Guys, what does infinite baths mean? Because to me, this is dark. And maybe that's just a perennial pattern, having noticed Sleep Token for so long and understanding kind of what the band is about a little bit. Infinite baths seems beautiful from the outset. But when you think of, someone who has drowned in the ocean, that's an infinite bath. Their fate is to be drawn about by the ocean. Their fate is to be pushed and pulled, in this sequence of infinite baths. And that, there's a dark element to that. Guys, and some of you, listen, I'm really going to be corresponding with you in the comments on this one. Is Sleep Token as dark as I always say they are? I don't know. Listen, I'm not an expert. I'm just somebody who's running his mouth. Talk to me.
Even if I'm on my own, when the silence is deafening, I could be stuck here alone. When even my future is threatening, something is lifting the bones, something is dancing in a revelry, wider than oceans below, taller than titans and box springs. The water.
See, listen to that. You get the boom, boom, clap, boom, boom, clap, which is kind of celebratory. It kind of gives you this vibe, like an uplift, like we finally arrived somewhere. But the lyrics, he's saying, something is lifting the bones. Something is dancing in revelry. What if the animation, what if the thing which is animating you is something which isn't you, right? You're being driven by outside causes in this kind of eerie deterministic way, right? As if you're just kind of this corpse in the ocean, right? All right.
Where they used to run freezing, where they used to be storms. My horizon is fleeting. I'm so tired inside. I could slip through a landslide, but I'm finally here, and I'm not leaving this time. Infinite buzz.
Yeah, baby. Ooh-wee! Do you hear those drums, baby? Two, please calm down, buddy. Listen to this. Ooh, wait. That's fire. Talk to me, buddy. Listen, guys, I'm telling you, bro, Sleep Token is a vibe. To me, it is completely fly. You know what I'm saying? This is something, it's for all occasions, bro. I mean, if you're a Sleep Token fan, you just have good taste in music, in my estimation, even though it's dark. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just, I want to play it in all circumstances almost. They have like a vibe for all circumstances. You know what I'm saying? Like, I rock with Sleep Token very, very heavy. And listen, don't let it be lost on you. Drift with Me might be a salute to who is it? Marcus Aurelius, the Stoics, right? They talk a lot about drifting, about embracing fatality, right? They say, we don't fear death, we fear fatality. And I've talked about this about Sleep Token a lot. They have a very stoic vibe. It's like, look, I'm going to go with the flow. I'm going to toss my arms back and I'm going to fall back into my circumstance. It's almost like sometimes sleep represents the inevitable, right? Drift with me. Let the circumstances carry you. Listen, when Sleep Token decides to go metal, bro, you can't take that tag away from them. As many people try. A lot of people try to take the badge of metal away from Sleep Token, but when they go ham sandwich. Bro, I don't know how they so effortlessly drift from genre to genre in one coherent track. No one does it like Sleep Token does, do they? Bro, did you hear that scream at the end right there, bro? That's going to haunt my nightmares tonight. Listen to that. When he says, did you hear that sound? Bro, that sound was only comparable to that part in The Green Mile where John Coffey opens his mouth and the flies come out. What are you talking about? We need an old priest and a young priest. That riff is crazy. Yeah, give it to me. Family, hear me out. Pardon me as I consult the oracle just one time. When does Sleep Token first say, "Will you halt this eclipse in me"?
Sleep Token introduced the line, "Will you halt this eclipse in me," in their song, "The Night Does Not Belong to God."
I knew it! They have used that line several times. It wasn't just in "The Night Belongs to God," because I heard it even more recently. But in Infinite Baths, he says, "Will you halt this eclipse in me?" But I remember it being sung, "Will you halt this eclipse in me? Will you halt this eclipse in me?" Fire! And it seemed to me at that point that what he meant by that is, will you do sleep whatever you can to stop me from becoming irrelevant? And that's kind of where he ends up on this wild, toxic goose chase, willing to kind of give everything and sacrifice everything, his blood, his bones, everything, to kind of do Sleep's bidding. At least in my estimation. What a wild story. Infinite Baths is crazy. Fam, where are we going with Sleep Token? What haven't we done yet on the channel? You guys know. Let me know in the chat where we're going next. Correspond with me, please. Have a phenomenal week. Love you guys.